In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to do a very basic animation, and it's going to just be a bouncy ball. So the first thing that you need to do is log into Photopea. Photopea is just photop.com. And then once you do that, you're going to see this screen, and you are going to click on New Project. Now, when you click on New Project, you're going to see a bunch of things right here that would be nice for presentations, but we're not using any of that. You're simply going to go up to Name. It's important to name your work so that you can find it later. So GIF, GIF, and then you are going to click on Create. Now, this is your canvas. This is what you're going to be working on. Now, when you use these kind of design programs, if you hover over the boxes, it will tell you what it is. So as you can see, this says rectangle select. Now, if you look carefully at the bottom right-hand corner, there's what looks kind of like a little white triangle. Now, what that is it's indicating that there are more items in there. Now, you can go and change the settings so that you can see the entire tool, all of the tools all at once, but it does take up space, workspace. So if you go in here, you can also see the layers right here. This is our background layer. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some color to this. We're going to go to the fill bucket. Now the fill bucket, again, if you hover, it tells you what's there. Now the fill bucket's hidden, so you have to actually click on the gradient box and hold down, and then you will see the paint bucket. So grab the paint bucket, pick a background color from these two swatches. Now, when you're doing the paint bucket, you just use the top one. If you're doing the gradient, you will be using both of the colors. All right, so make sure that your background's selected, and then you fill the background with the color that you've chosen. Now, the next step is to create your bouncy ball. So you are going to go to where it says rectangle. If you hover over it, it says rectangle. You're going to click on that and hold and go to the ellipse tool. Now, anytime you change the tools, if you notice on the left-hand side, it changes the controls at the top. So if you're ever trying to change the size or color, or if you're painting the paintbrush, it will give you options at the top. So if we're on the ellipse tool, it shows us different colors. So you can change the color of yours if you'd like as well. So imagine a bouncy ball starting at the top, bouncing down into the center, and then coming off of the page. So part of this is you do need to be able to visualize that. So if you start with one, and Control Z is going to be your best friend because it's edit undo. So say you make this the wrong size and you don't like the way it looks, you can hit Control Z. Now, I have had students who are a little more advanced and this was too simple for them. If you're one of those students, you can turn this into a pinball machine, and you can have all the knobs and everything you can create with the different shape tools and paintbrushes if you'd like, if this is too simple for you. You're just trying to demonstrate your proficiency in being able to create a GIF, a simple animation. So, and if you've ever seen those bouncy balls or those 4 square balls and how they kind of, when they hit the bottom, it changes the shape of it. It kind of looks better when you do that. It looks more realistic. And then you're just going to have it go off to the top or off the side. And again, Control Z is going to help you out in this, because if you are having a hard time getting the shape that you want, you can just start over. Okay, I have all of my shapes. Now again, this could be the trajectory of this could be a little bit over more, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it that way. So once you've done this, you have to go into here, leave the background, just leave that plain. And then you're going to click on where it says shape. Now, each one of these have to be renamed to _a_. Now, it has to be a lowercase a, and the underscore is where the hyphen is at. So you hit the shift key, hold the shift key down, and then you hit the hyphen key, and it'll do an underscore. And it is important that you do this with every layer that you want to be animated and move. If for some reason you don't get done with this before class is over, make sure you save it as a PSD. When you save it as a PSD, you're saving all the layers, which means you can come back and edit it later. If you get done, you're going to export it as a GIF. And I will show you how to do that in a minute. The nice thing about this too is that it shows you a preview of what your animation looks like. So you can speed it up or slow it down. So if you look carefully, every single one of these, the bouncy ball, every single one is _A_, and it's a lowercase a. Now I'm going to go over to the file, and I'm going to, again, if you're not done, if you don't get done before the bell rings, please save it as a PSD. It will download to your computer. And then when you go into Photopea, you can open projects through Photopea and get it off your computer. If you're done, you're ready to turn it in, you're going to go to export as a what? A GIF, because that's what you're doing. You're making animation. Now, notice it's showing me the speed, so I can slow it down and goes really slow, or I can speed it up to go really fast. I do not want you to go over 340. Okay, I need to be able to see the quality of what you've done, so slow it down a little bit. That's even too fast. I would say 160 is even pushing it. Let's see. There we go. And then make sure you hit save. Okay. And then that is how you do this. And then you will go ahead and go turn the assignment in. All right. Now, if this was too easy for you, you can add more. Another thing you can do is go to the background. You can go to file. And again, this is optional. Open in place. File, open in place is how you put pictures in. Okay. You have to open and place it, if you can remember that. This is on the bottom layer. So if you did it on the top, it would cover everything up. So remember, when you're working with layers, they're stacked on top of each other. So you could have a picture in the background if you wanted as well.